it's Liz Yuille from Old Stables Crafts. Thank you for joining me again today. Today I have this card for you. This is using a stamp set from the annual catalogue, which of course at the moment we have the stamp set extravaganza. So we have got stamps and kits. I knew there was something else. So all annual catalogue stamps and kits are currently 10% off. Brilliant time to order if there's anything in the catalogues that you've been looking at and going, maybe. And of course, if you order in November and use the host code, you will be entered into my birthday prize draw, which is for a full set per the catalogue of the Many Marvellous Markers, which is £112.75 of product. So really great time to be adding to your stamp set collection. It's also a great time to join, because you can make the most of the extravaganza by adding items that are discounted to your starter kit, which means that if you were just using stamps and kits, you would, instead of getting £130 of product, you would get up to £143 of product. So brilliant time to join. That's a 30% discount because you only pay £99, and I've not even taken the fact that you've got free postage into account. So anyway, so this card unfortunately is a Hope You're Feeling Better Soon card. Inside it says sending well wishes your way. There are a few people in the village where I live who are currently not well. There seems to be something going around the village. It's nothing to do with what I brought back from Orlando, I hasten to add. They were actually, the two ladies in particular were not well before I got back. So they've been not well for quite a while. So I want to send them obviously some best wishes. So I am using Pool Party. I've done a gatefold, and I want to just show you, ready for tomorrow when we're doing tools and inks. That's it. I have got the metric scoreboard for the scoring tool. It comes with grids on the back to slot into these grids on these lines on the front, and also non-slip pads. So you just slot it into your ordinary scoring board. And what's great for this, if you're using metric A4, the international A4 card, it's got standard scoring marks. So here's the 10.5, which would be where you do your standard half fold. But for a gatefold, it's got 52.5, which is obviously half of 105. So you can just score there, turn your card over and score the other side, and you've got perfect gatefold. So worth bearing in mind. There are other score lines that are specific to things like trifold, that sort of thing. We'll have a look at that at some point. So you can then just fold your gatefolds in half. Just fold them. Now it is worth just making sure that they are properly lined up, because with the best will in the world, as a score line is not minute, you want to make sure that you get them properly lined up, which they are. So that's perfect. So that's our basic card. Then I've got a piece of Whisper White cut at 3 7/8 by 5 5/8. Don't worry about measurements, they'll all be over on my blog post. I've also got, and that is linked immediately below in the description bar, this is basic grey. This is cut at 3 by 3.5 inches, and then some of the glimmer paper, the white glimmer paper, which I want to say we now call Sparkle, can't remember. I'll link it all, so don't worry. And this is just cut at 1/4 inch wider in each dimension, in each direction, so 3 1/4 by 3 3/4. So let's get started. I'm going to start with the inside, and I'm just going to grab a scrap of paper, which is also known as the back of my order receipt. So this comes in your with your order. So the front is what you've ordered and the back is perfectly reasonable for using as a piece of scrap. Obviously using grid paper, you could use that as scrap as well, but I do like to keep my grid paper clean for as long as possible. I'm inking up the little flourish. So the stamps that I'm using are this one, the 3 together, and then the Sending Well Wishes Your Way. You've also got Wishes for a Lifetime of Love and Happiness, and I Made a Wish and You Come True, and then this stamp, which I've used a lot as well, which is gorgeous. So Pool Party ink, and all I'm doing is just inking and stamping the whole way up, and I'm just turning my stamp very slightly as I go, not a huge amount, but just a little bit, and then the same on the other side. So I'm just making sure that it's not, you know, absolutely the same everywhere, and just go off the top. It makes it look more meant if it goes off the top. And then Sending Well Wishes Your Way, just ink that up and pop that in the middle of the card. So there we are, that's those 2 ready for the inside, and I don't need my Pool Party anymore. So what I'm going to do now is grab my basic grey and, oh, I had it just now, Versamark, and my embossing buddy, and just pop that over the basic grey just to make sure that if there are any sticky fingerprints, they're not going to pick up the embossing powder. So that's that. And then I'm going to ink up my stamp just with Versamark. And I'm going to stamp this towards the top of my 3 by 3.5 inch piece. And if I actually, yeah, I kind of want it square on the block. And press hard just to make sure it's well and truly stamped, which it is. And then grab my white embossing powder and just cover the whole piece with embossing powder. Just make sure it's well and truly covered, which it is. Just tap any excess off, get that out of my way, and grab my trusty cheese board. Now, I have had people ask me where I got my cheese board from. I got it from a local garden centre that happens to have a kitchen area. So it's bamboo. So it's very heat retentive, or resistant. They are available on Amazon, but yeah, it just happened to be one that I spotted, and it's just a good size. So I'm just heating up my heat tool, and the card will suggest it's going to curl a little, but it'll be fine. By the time we've finished, it'll all be wonderful. And there we go. I love watching this. It's just, even the white, even the clear. I mean, the metallics are just amazing, but the white and the clear, I still get that wonderful, feeling. Right, pop that down for the moment. We will be using it again, and I'm just going to leave that to cool, because what I've done, and I don't know if you can see terribly well, I'll bring it up slowly. I've actually got, let's see if I can get it under the light better, that might be a bit better. This is actually very pale blue, and I've also coloured the gems that I've used in the middle. So what I have done is I've taken my Pool Party Dark alcohol marker, and to colour the gems, I've got the clear and frosted epoxy gems from the Autumn Winter catalogue, and I've just brush those with the alcohol marker, just 3, one for the middle of each. They go shiny. These are the frosted ones. They go kind of shiny to begin with, but once they've dried, they go back to their matte finish. And then, let's get that out of the way for the moment. It's quite clever. This isn't an original idea, I should hasten to add. The lovely Monica Gale was the first person I saw who did this. The Pool Party is pale enough that on the basic grey, it really doesn't show when you use it. So you can just scribble over your embossed image. And although to begin with it looks as if you can see the alcohol marker on the card, it fades back. Now you do want to be just, you know, quite quick and gentle with this, because the embossing powder does react slightly to the alcohol marker. It goes a bit matte, it sort of melts a bit, so you do want to just be very gentle with your alcohol marker, otherwise you could end up damaging your marker, and I would just brush it off when you've finished. Let's just missed those ones, I think. Oh, and I definitely missed that. So it sends your embossing a bit matte to begin with. Don't know if you can see that that's gone matte. So that's fine. You just bring your trusty cheese board in again and just heat it up. And then as you heat, the embossing powder becomes shiny again, but it keeps the colour. So really clever. Love this effect. As I say, you do have to be slightly careful about the colour that you use as your base colour, because you don't want it to look as if you've scribbled all over it. Obviously black would work really well. So that's that, and our gems have now gone slightly Pool Party, so that's even better. So I'll leave adding those until the end, because otherwise they're going to get in the way a bit. Don't need that anymore, so we can get rid of it. I've got the Pool Party shimmer ribbon, which, just saying, sold out when we had the embellishment sale. So there was a certain allocation of ribbon, and the Pool Party ribbon sold out before the end of the 48 hours. So if there is anything that you want, do grab it while you can, because things will sell out. So there's only a certain allocation. Just using tear and tape to stick my ribbon to the back of my piece of card. So yes, there's only a certain allocation during the online extravaganza, and once that allocation has been met, you will find that things will look as if they're discontinued. They're not discontinued, they're just not available for the remainder of that 48-hour period, and then they'll come back in at their original price within a day, possibly two, but that sort of time scale. That straight would be even better. Let's do that. Let's line it up to a line on our grid paper, and then we can make sure it's straight. It's a novel idea, but you know, one that I kind of like to embrace. Now I don't want to do it too tight, because I am going to tie a half knot. So grab my ribbon again, and then just tie a half knot, and I'm doing it to one side, and the reason I'm doing it to one side is if you do it in the middle and you're not in the middle, it'll look wrong, but if you do it to the side, it's going to look right, because it's clearly meant to be at the side. And then just trim that end and trim this end so that it's about the same length. And there we go. Don't need the ribbon anymore. So that is our sort of feature piece, and then grab our glimmer paper, and add more tear and tape to the back. across the bottom and the top. Oop. Keep that for another moment. Make sure that's properly down, because sticking to glimmer paper is always a challenge. Dimensionals are a good way to stick things to glimmer paper, but I don't want it too bulky because it's already got a large knot and will have gems on. So if it gets too bulky, it just, I don't know, it just doesn't look attractive. And obviously if you're posting, you don't want too much bulk because otherwise you'll end up having to pay large letter. I haven't tested this to see whether it'll go large through the standard letter size, but dimensionals as well definitely will put it over. Right, I'm going to add some multi-purpose liquid adhesive as well, because it's embossed and because it's on glimmer paper. I'm going to give it all the help it can to A, be flat, and B, stick, because I don't know, it's just, it seems like a plan really to have things sticking to your card. And then just rub that over the back to get the glue into the glimmer paper. Right, okay, so this is going to go in the middle. Now we can actually measure the middle because we've got these lovely grid lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we want to be halfway, top and bottom. And let's see, it's going to be this side we're going to stick, so I'm going to put a line just slightly off the middle, and that is going to be my line for where I'm going to attach more tear and tape. Ooh, I'm not doing very well with my tearing, but there we go. And there was there's the piece, which looks like it's just the right length to go there. So, oops, peel these bits off. Try and peel these bits off. And this is why I used to like fast fuse. Still do like fast fuse, but unfortunately we don't have it anymore, so just going to have to grow up and not worry about it. So I'm popping it towards the top. On the original I put it more central, but I really quite like the idea of having it nearer the top. Press that down, make sure it's stuck, and then grab some snail. Oh, got an itchy eye. I should say itchy eyelid. And pop that in the middle, and there we go. Two pretty. Oh, forgot to put my centres in my dandelions. There we go. And as you can see, they've now gone matte again, or frosted. Obviously you could use the clear rather than the frosted, and equally you could use pearls or rhinestones, but I just thought it would be a nice way of using some of these. So there we go. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you need any of the products and you're in the UK, I would love you to shop with me. As I say, during November, if you shop with me and use the host code, for every £30 you spend throughout the whole of November, you will get an entry into the prize draw for the Many Marvellous markers. So yeah, great time to shop, and obviously make the most of the online extravaganza. Just tidying that up a bit. Do remember that if you are looking to join my team, using the online extravaganza to get more into your kit is a great way to go. So just have a think about that. And then obviously you benefit from ongoing discounts after that. So think of all those Christmas presents you could get, all those kits and stamps and all that good stuff. So thank you very much indeed for watching. I look forward to seeing you very soon. Any questions or comments, do please let me know. Thanks a lot again. Bye!